All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. Things look a little bit different because I drove all the way out to my RC crawling spot and I forgot the battery to my GoPro. Of course, that only happens on the trip where I'm a little time limited and I needed to get this done within a certain window. So we're going to use my iPhone and hopefully things turn out. We'll see how this one goes. But today, let's take a look at what we're driving. We have got the Axial Capra here, and I have now installed rear steer. This truck, I installed the UC Fab flat skid under here as well, which has the bolt pattern adapter to a Axial 3-gear transmission. So I've actually got a Vanquish 3-gear transmission with a Hertz dig strapped to the back with the UC Fab servo relocation mount. Powering the car, we've got a Hobbywing AXE with the 2800 kV system, running a 4300 3S pack up front. That's the biggest battery you can stuff in a Capra. Got a Spectrum S6280 servo on the rear. And in the front, we got a Savox 1212 servo up front. So should be a good time out here. This is the first time we've seen this transmission and dig unit in this car, as well as rear steer on this specific car. The tires we're running are BFG Krawlers with SSD steel wheels, and those have the scale hardware on there. Those are a great deal. I think they're like 33 bucks a pair, so pretty good looking wheel for the money. The other day, I drove into this canyon, which I've only shown really one other time when I first got my comp crawler. And there's been one section on it that I have not been able to traverse. The other day I went out with my buddies and I actually got that section with this car, which is why we're here today. I want to get it on video and prove that it's possible and show you guys the way through the canyon that started out as Crawler Fall Canyon because your car would always fall off down into this waterfall. But I finally made it happen the other day. Hopefully we can get it done on film. Might be real tricky with me navigating rear steer with my phone in my hand at the same time. Let's go try it out. All right, guys, so we've got that Vanquish 3-gear transmission in here. You might be wondering why I would swap the transmission from the Capra that has a dig unit to an SCX 10.2 transmission that also has a dig unit. Well, the simple answer is gear reduction. The Capra transmission does not have a ton of gearing reduction, and this transmission does. And once you put the portal axles after that transmission that was designed for a straight axle truck, it really makes this car creep along. So another reason why is because of the dead simple reliability of this Vanquish dig unit. Watch this. It will absolutely engage here, I guarantee it. There it goes. Bring that front end over and down. And then 4-wheel. Works every time, that easy. I love the Vanquish dig units. They are the best. Here we have part of the canyon where we got to get up on the side of the rock formations so that we can get across this waterfall. A little horsepower here. The Hobbywing 2800 kV AXE system, awesome system. It helps the car crawl really well. Don't mind the dog, but it also has some high-end RPM. 2800 kV means that it will create 2,800 RPM per volt that you give the system. So if you're running a 3S pack, you're getting 3.7 more volts on average, more than a 2S pack. So that's why 3S really wakes cars up, because it adds more RPM to your car. Let's see if we can use this dig unit to bring us uphill. You're noticing that I'm not using my rear steer a whole lot just because it's tricky with the phone. So I'm gonna try and drive this straight axle as much as I can. But when we get to the hardest part of this trail, we're gonna need some rear steer for sure. Let's just bump up this. Yeah, that's where I want to be, right there. Had to save it with a little reverse. It's getting steep. Nice, nice, nice. And we can bring it around here. Still very steep. Use that dig unit to pull that front end down and sink into those rocks. Now the downside to this setup is that I don't have an interior for the Capra anymore. Not that I've ever been like super scale guy, but I don't really love staring at all the wires and the mess of the electronics in there. But it's part of the deal. Maybe I could get some kind of cover for it, but it's not gonna be the Axial interior. All right, and here is where we meet up with our nemesis here. We've got a very hard crossover. The area through here is a ridiculously steep side hill and there's not much traction with the moss on the rocks. we're gonna shoot up this ramp, go into that little pocket and make the crossover right up there, and then drop down and go up that canyon. Let's go see if we can make it happen. Even just getting up to that is not easy because this is a very steep climb, and then we end up having to crawl sideways across it. Oh, almost had it there. Okay, so now we gotta get some rear steer moving. Sorry, this might be a little bit of a slow process here, guys. Slow, steady progress. I also want to add in here that the consequences are pretty great here. I mean, you're talking at least 10, 12 foot fall of falling off this wall, so you got to be careful. Let's see if we can get back up there. Let's see if we can try this a little bit wider line over here. Dog found something. She's looking for something. Maybe a mouse or a lizard or something. Yeah, I think this is really our only option here is to crab through here. It's lifting that front right tire. It's kind of settling down. Got a little too much angle on the rears. Don't touch the car, dog. We're so close. We're so close. That's it. That's it. Don't you dare fall off right now. Okay, using that bush to level out that rear. Get some traction. Come on, car. That's it. That's what we need. All right. Stage one complete. And as funny as it is, that's not the hard part. Granted, that is hard. That's difficult for sure, but that's not the hardest part. So we're gonna work that rear up and around, drive as high as we can up into this pocket, and then dig our way around. Back into four-wheel, let those rears push. And this is our crossover that we have to nail. Okay. So we want to keep our rear close to the edge on that bottom driver, but we don't want it to fall off because we want it low to balance the car out. So we're going to get real sideways on it. These rocks are cold because it's shady in here. It's gonna roll. Coming back into this. The key is we gotta get this tire hooked over the top and holding the car up, and then you have to get the car to pivot and break itself over that ledge. So it's definitely not easy. It's a real fun challenge. Like I said, I got it the other day with a group of buddies. They watched me do it, but did it really happen if it's not on video? So the front end's gonna start sliding. You just need it to push hard enough to Okay, I need to work my rear downhill. Okay, the front is over where we want it. It's just not settling. There it goes. That's it, car. That's it. Okay, now we've got to get the belly across here, which thankfully that UC Fab skid really helps. So we're gonna turn what looks really weird, but this should push the rear axle up and the front axle should help keep the belly off as much as possible. We're hitting hard. At this point is typically when it starts hitting the skid so hard that it starts sliding down the hill on its skid plate out of control, and then it falls off. So, let's see if we can make her happen. We need full rear here. It's already fallen off. So close. That's it. That was it. Got the full run. That's the third time I've done it now. Dog, if you knock my car off on this run, I swear you're running home. Okay. She usually doesn't touch the car. I'm just joking. All right. Capra on video, broke open, crawler fall. It's possible. Killer. Now we just get to do the fun run out. This is easy from here. All right, guys. Super cool, technical, hard line. And this is the only car I've done it with. So I think it's a combination of a few things. The dig unit and rear steer are a huge benefit in that section. And then on top of that, my other Capras I have stretched, which gave me worse breakover angles with the belly. So this car not only has a flat skid, but it also isn't stretched. So it's given me the most clearance I've ever had in a Capra, or at least breakover angle. So I think that's why it's a winning combo there. I do think that this setup is a little heavy with where the ESC, like the center of gravity is not great on this car. Bump rear steer there. And I'm gonna bring it right back. And then just drive on out. Oh, the rear steer's not straight. The other day I did follow this line just a little bit weirder. I kind of just followed the actual crack in the bottom of the canyon. To run my rear steer into the wall here. Already. Keep that rear up on the wall. Use the fronts to drive it and level it back out. And then straighten the rear. Just drive it like a drag axle. Out of crawler fall, Capra has emerged. There's one more obstacle that I've included in this trail. And it is running up through here. That's it. Kick ass, guys. Capra is doing awesome. Really liking this Vanquish products. 3-gear transmission. It is cool because you can see like the spur gear rotating around in there. That's always fun to watch. Hobbywing AXE, UC Fab skid and relocation mount. Rear steer. I converted this car. This is traditionally a straight axle car. This is a Capra kit. I guess you gotta clarify now. Mine's custom. I didn't just buy it. Clearly this car is custom. Little self-recovery. Up and out. And we're gonna wrap this one up. Hopefully the audio isn't pure garbage, and hopefully I was able to convey that was not an easy spot, but this car can get it done, and I'm pretty stoked about that. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. Drop a comment down below what you think of the obstacles. We will see you guys in the next one. Hit the affiliate links down below. Keep the rubber side down. Say goodbye, Sydney. Say goodbye, everybody.